Welcome to this video, which is all about learning to become an instinctive trader, learning how to trust your gut instinct when making trading decisions. I'm also going to look at how you train your gut instinct as well, so you can thin slice the markets. What does thin slicing mean? It just means coming to an instant decision as soon as you look at the chart, knowing exactly what you're going to do with it, or if you're not going to do anything at all with it. It's a snap decision. Now, in terms of two traders who can do this, they are George Soros and Ray Dalio, but just about every great trader has this skill. I've just mentioned those two because I want to quote them as we go through the video. Now, a lot of people think that, gut instinct, they shouldn't trust it because it's their emotions coming into play. Nothing could be further from the truth in my view, and you'll understand why when I finish this video. What I'll do first of all is just go through how the unconscious mind works, because that is where your gut instinct comes from. And then once you know how it works, you'll understand, in general terms, how it works in trading. And we'll look at Ray Dalio and George Soros as instinctive traders in a bit more detail, what we can learn from them, how we can train our instincts, how we can trust them. First of all, I want to talk about the unconscious mind in general terms, because most people don't think about how it operates. And in terms of the unconscious mind, I've done a quote from a guy called Timothy Wilson on the way in, and he wrote a fantastic book called Strangers to Ourselves. And the unconscious mind is a stranger to us in many respects, because it just comes to decisions and we don't know why it has come to those decisions. We've all had that gut feeling about something happening, and it happens. It also happens a lot in trading. A trader will sit down, look at their charts, and it seems to line up with their system rules, but there's something nagging them about doing the trade. They do it, they lose money. They can't quite explain why their gut instinct came into play. I think what we do first of all is just look at how the unconscious mind operates. Once you understand that, then you will relate it to trading. Okay, so first of all, the unconscious mind is basically a super fast computer. I mean, that's what it is. It's lightning quick, and it's very often not going to tell the conscious mind why it wants to do something. It will just take over. It's how we've survived as a species. It will always protect us when we're in danger. If you consider, let's say you're walking up a road, and a truck suddenly veers down on you, do you think about moving out the way? No, you don't. The unconscious mind comes into play, and you move without thinking. Now, in terms of a very interesting experiment which really reveals how the unconscious mind works, it was done by Stanford University. And what the organisers did was they got a group of people together. They had 2 decks of cards and gave it to each of the group. One deck of cards was green, one deck of cards was blue. They told them that they were going to make money by turning over the cards, or losing money when they turned over the cards. Now, what they didn't tell the group was that the green deck had some big payouts, but it also had some big losses as well, and even some catastrophic losses. The blue deck was much gentler in terms of it had steady, regular payouts with losses obviously in between. They told the group to tell them when they noticed something about the game. By 50 cards, they'd all worked it out that the green deck was the one to avoid. However, the interesting point about this experiment is they already knew by 10 cards to avoid the green deck. Their unconscious mind had come into play. The organisers had done something very clever in terms of they'd hooked up all the people in the group to measure their sweat response. Okay, sweat response went up after 10 cards, and they started to already avoid the green deck. That's 40 cards before their conscious mind has picked it up. You very often find that gut feeling is basically accompanied by a physical feeling. And George Soros is very famous for saying that when his back is in pain, he knows there's something wrong with his positions. So you very often get that physical impulse. Okay, now I just want to talk about the unconscious mind and patterns. We all want to look at chart formations and patterns in the markets, but there's no better computer than spotting patterns than your unconscious mind. Now, I just want you to consider a fact. You're watching me in this video, and suddenly you are called to a police station to pick me out from an identity parade for a crime. Now, I'm not going to do that, it's just an illustration. But you could do that instantly. You could pick me out. Now, you haven't made a conscious decision to memorize my face, have you? You have pattern matched it. You know, the unconscious mind just does it. Now, you might be saying, well, is that really important in trading? Yes, it is, because what the unconscious mind does is every chart that you ever look at is going to be snapshotted by the unconscious mind. Now, to give you an example, I like to trade triangle formations in the markets. Now, are all triangles the same? No, there's subtle differences between the triangles in terms of how the bars move within that formation, for example. Your unconscious mind, the more experience you've got of trading, is going to pick up those subtle differences, okay? And yeah, I think it's very important to keep in mind the way it pattern matches, also the way that basically it can come to a decision about something, give you a physical impulse and not tell you. It's a lightning fast computer. It's the best pattern matching computer ever built. Now, I want to relate all this to trading in a bit more detail. And to do so, I just want to do a couple of quotes first of all. One is from George Soros and the other is from Ray Dalio. And then in a moment, I'm going to come back and discuss trading instincts in a bit more detail, thin slicing, and training your instincts to trade like a pro. So here are the quotes. I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Up those two short quotes there, one from George Soros' son and the other from Ray Dalio. Now, in relation to the one from George Soros' son, most people would think it's absolutely ridiculous that he feels a back pain and then he goes and makes a decision on his positions. But in terms of what we've learned so far in this tutorial about how the unconscious mind works, it makes total sense. And in terms of George Soros, he is obviously one of the world's greatest traders. Now, in terms of the quote there from Ray Dalio, it's a quote that beginners in particular should note. There is a massive difference between learning from textbooks or from classroom education and doing it in the real world. In terms of internalized learning, that is when it becomes effortless, okay? That is when you can make those just quick decisions and you know what you're going to do when you look at a chart. Your experience, your subconscious mind comes in to play. Now, in terms of a lot of people watching this video, I'm sure you're asking the question, look, this is all very well and good, but all this seems to rely on experience. I haven't got any yet, I haven't started trading, or I haven't got much. Well, the answer is there is no way around the learning curve. And you are going to have a learning curve in the markets, okay? You've got to be prepared to make mistakes, just learn from them. And as you build up experience, you will find yourself being able to make very confident decisions quickly and trust your instincts. Now, there is a way of speeding up the learning curve. Most traders who come in the markets might study 5 or 10 pairs. I would study 50 or 60. In terms of chart formations, all pairs have the same inputs. They're all driven by human emotion and sentiment and so forth. So you can build up your experience by just looking at more chart formations. You don't have to trade them all, but look at as many as you possibly can. So you get that feel for the tape, you get that feel for price action. Now, you will have simple rules and a strategy maybe, but like I said before, yeah, all chart formations are subtly different. I mentioned triangle formations earlier on. It could be any chart formation you like. The subtle differences between them all. The markets are fluid. They're always going in ways that most traders don't expect them to do. You have to just learn how to feel the price action so you can stay out of trouble or hit those high odds trades. It doesn't require doing anything complicated, but it does require experience and trusting your gut instinct. And I'm sure a lot of people have had this experience. You look online and you look around at all these experts and they'll tell you all these reasons why a chart should do what it should do, and you're just looking at it, you think, I don't think it's going to do that at all. Just basically looked at it and just thought, no, it's going the other way, despite the fact they've used complex analysis or a huge amount of facts to back up their view. That is your instinctive feel coming in the markets. And I think, in terms of this video, the unconscious mind, it is just such an impressive computer. It keeps us out of danger in life, and it can help us in the Forex markets. Okay, a lot of the time it won't explain to us exactly why it's telling us what it wants to do, but we need to learn to trust it. And if we do, we can become very confident traders. We can make instant decisions, and we can gain an edge over the markets. Most traders won't want to do this. They'll want to rely on those set systems, that set way of trading the markets. They won't want to trust their instincts. If we do, then I think we can gain that edge, as I've said. And there's nothing wrong with trusting your instincts. You do it in all areas of life. We all know in life as well that you've got to feel the experience. And get a little bit of practice of doing anything. It can be in any area of life. Forex markets are no different. Now, in terms of this video, I'm going to finish now, but I want to leave you with 3 quotes. One from Timothy Wilson, which I strongly believe. One from Ray Dalio, which is just totally true, but most traders just do not think about its significance. And one quote, which isn't even from a Forex trader, but memorize that quote. Always keep it in mind when you trade the markets, and you'll be surprised at how often the quote is true. So thank you for watching me as per usual. Take care and have a good day.